What up, everybody? Can you hear me? Ooh, I see a couple people coming in. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everybody. I'm in downtown Denver tonight. I'm 44 years old for the next couple hours. Welcome. Daniel, Driven, AJ, Raphael, Delta, JT. All right, we have some people in here. What up, everybody? Right off the bat, I do want to give a disclaimer. I've been sick all week. I got sick last Sunday. In a couple hours, this will be 1 week of me being sick. It's been a really, really challenging week for me. I ended up getting Linda sick too. For the first 2 days, she was taking care of me, and now we're both just trying to take care of ourselves. I thought it was a cold, then I thought it was the flu. It might be flu, COVID, cold. You can hear my voice. I'm breaking all kinds of things off of my lungs. It's been a really challenging week for me. I did go for a quick cruise last night in Westminster, which is where I grew up. It was very short because the more I talk, the more it kind of brings on a coughing fit. And if I have a coughing fit, it feels like I'm going to throw up. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the signal to even out before I start talking a little bit more. If you can hear me, I'm in Denver tonight. I know the signal is a little bit choppy. I'm kind of over by Ball Arena, which is where the Lakers are playing the Nuggets right now. Did I do a COVID test? I did not do a COVID test. But I'm thinking that I'm going to have to go to the doctor this week because I didn't end up getting better the way I thought I would. How is it now? Did the signal even out a little bit? Sometimes it takes 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of get started and roll around. The audio's breaking up. Okay. Let me just cruise for a little bit, see if it evens out, and then I'll try to do like a little quick update. How about now? Is it getting any better? Can't understand you. Smoother now. Okay. I'm seeing people walking away from Ball Arena. The Lakers are playing the Nuggets right now. Do you see all the people ahead of me in the crosswalk? I'm wondering if the game just let out. Here, let me look. Let me see. Yeah, I'm seeing a father and son right here that are coming from the game. Okay, the game is over. 100 to 123. Dang. That was not a good game. Unless you're a LA Lakers fan, then it was a great game. Welcome, everybody. I am going to see how long I can last tonight. Whoa, look at this rickshaw going into oncoming. Whoa, bro. I've been sick for the last week. Do I still need to restart it? Is it... Put a number 1 in the chat if you can hear me now. If you can hear me and you think I should keep it going, put a number 1. If you think I need to restart it, put a number 2. Okay, I'm seeing a couple ones. Okay, good. Okay. Welcome, everybody. What I was trying to say earlier was I've been sick for the last week. I got sick last Sunday, and I thought it was the flu. Then I thought it was a cold. Then I thought maybe it was COVID. I don't know. I just know that I've felt really terrible for the last week. Linda and I both have been canceling everything out, not going anywhere, staying home, having cold sweats. I haven't had an appetite for a week. I lost maybe 8 pounds. Probably doesn't look like it. I know in my face I don't look well. When I walk on the stairs in our new place, sometimes certain stairs creak, and I haven't been making those stairs creak. So I know I lost just a little bit of weight, which is not good. I haven't had an appetite at all. So anything I've eaten, I had to like fear factor down. But I did go out for a quick cruise last night in my hometown, Westminster, and we just kind of cruised around for about an hour. I'm going to see how long I can make it tonight, because the pattern that I've been following is if I start to cough, it will make me want to throw up. And if I throw up, then I'll just start like dry heaving, and it's bad. It's like whooping cough or something. So I know it makes it even worse when I'm talking a lot, which is what I'm doing out here, is talking a lot. I'm in Lodo, which is lower downtown. This is right in front of Coors Field. So we're kind of cruising downtown Denver. I'm gonna see how long I can make it this evening. Last night I made it an hour, which was actually longer than I thought. I set the goal of an hour and I made it, but barely. I started feeling nauseous, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I need to end the stream, bye. So disclaimer, that might happen again tonight. I hope it doesn't, but it is a possibility. It's a little bit warmer out here tonight. It's about 50 degrees. And in Denver, anything above freezing, people treat like it's a summer day. So I'm sure you're gonna see a lot of skirts tonight. Here's somebody in one of the new Corvettes, it looks like. I'm seeing some happy birthday messages. Thank you very much. I missed a couple of the messages last night. I apologize for that. One of them was Zach Stuff. Thank you for the gifted membership. Mimo Gamboa, thank you for the sticker from last night. I missed that. What up, Ellie? What up, James? What up, Eric? We're just gonna kind of do a low-level cruise tonight. I like the color of this. It's almost like a purple. But yeah, we're just gonna have a low stress cruise night. Here's the top bar up here. This is where people party up on the roof. Yeah, and one of my favorite things to do on my birthday is to hang out with my friends. And I knew if I just stayed in bed, look at the guy dancing on the corner with the liquor bottle. I knew if I just stayed in bed that wouldn't really promote me feeling better. So yeah, I'm out here giving it a try. I feel better than I did 10 minutes ago, so that's encouraging. If I get quiet in little pockets, it's because I'm trying not to throw up, or I'm just trying to hold it together. And we'll see how long I can make it. What up, Shannon? What up, Ellie? I received 2 very sweet gifts, one from Shannon, one from Ellie. Both of them almost made me cry. Thank you to both of those ladies for always looking out for me, taking good care of me. I've gotten a lot of birthday wishes. Yeah, I feel like because I'm a little bit sick, I'm a little bit more emotional than usual too. So I'll try to share some fun memories from some past birthdays and some past ways that I celebrate. I was crying earlier when right before I came out. I took a shower and I was thinking back to this one birthday when I was so sick. When I was in middle school, I was a decent basketball player. I wasn't decent at the game of basketball. I was a good shooter for a little bit. When I was younger, my house had a fire and it burned down. And we had this really big tree in our front yard. And my parents bought like it was kind of like a double trailer that they brought in on on the back of a semi in two pieces, and they kind of melted together. And because my family didn't want to tear down this epic tree that was on our property, we ended up having our garage lifted up with a crane and moved over. And when they moved over the garage, the slab of concrete that was there, my grandpa came over and he put a basketball hoop there for me. And so for years and years, I was out there shooting baskets. I got pretty good at shooting baskets. I ended up taking my mom's workout trampoline and trying to do little dunks and stuff like that with my little Pizza Hut mini basketballs. And this is Larimer Square right in front of us. This is one of the jewels of Denver right in front of us. And the reason that I was getting emotional earlier, so when I was in middle school, we would have this competition where it was a shootout challenge, and you would get 1 point for it. Was the most points that you could make in 1 minute. You'd get 1 point for a layup, you'd get 3 points for a free throw, and you get 5 points for a three-pointer. So whatever combination that you wanted to do to accumulate points, they would rack those up every week, and then the prize was going to be that the 3 highest scorers on our basketball team would get to compete at halftime at the high school boys basketball game to see who the winner was. And it was the winner for 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. I was in 6th grade at the time. And I knew, even before that competition started, I knew I was going to be in the top tier, because that's all I did was shoot little baskets like that. And so there was a kid on my team that was clearly better than me. He was better than everybody else. I knew he would be in it. I knew that I would probably be in it. And then I didn't know who was going to be the third person in that. I ended up making it to the final competition, which was going to be the halftime at the boys basketball game. And back then, the coach of the team used to encourage us to wake up early, ride our bikes to the high school, and work out with the high school basketball boys. And I used to love to do that, because if I would get up early enough and ride my bike over to the spot to work out, these high school boys ended up knowing my name. So when they would see me around town, or they would see me anywhere, they would sometimes know my name, and I thought that was really cool. So I worked my way into the competition and got into the top 3. So it was going to be, all right, I get to compete at the halftime, and it's going to be the boys of the basketball team watching, the whole home crowd, which in Iowa, Iowa doesn't have any pro sports. So everything is like either high school sports or college sports. The whole state rallies around those two things. And so I was so proud of myself for making it to this final competition. And then a couple days before I was supposed to compete, I got sick. And I remember everything surrounding it, because I was just so scared. I was like, I have to compete in this. Like, I've been working so hard to do this. Like, I have to. And the day or two before, I remember my mom, like, whenever I would get, oh, am I still breaking up? Put a number 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Maybe I'll have to restart it. I don't know. I was breaking up earlier. Maybe refresh the channel if you are having audio issues or video issues. It might be because of the crowds. You're seeing all the rickshaws and the people walking. The basketball game just got out. So I think we're competing with a lot of other people right now for a cell signal. It's okay? Okay. Look at this little guy right here. We got a little nugget right here. Yeah. So anyway, it was the night of the competition, and my mom was letting me know. She was like, you can't go, Jeremy. She's like, you've just been too sick. She's like, I know it means a lot to you, but you can't go. And so I spent the day trying to convince my mom that I had gotten better, and she knew that I hadn't. And I remember staying in her bed. Whenever I was really sick, she would let me take over her bed. It would always make me feel a lot better to kind of smell her pillow. I always loved the way my mom's hair smelled. So I was in her room just like throwing up and feeling terrible. And then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna tell my mom that I'm healthy enough to go. So I remember telling my mom, like, I think I'm gonna go. And she's like, absolutely not. She's like, you're not gonna go. Just take that out of your head. And I was like, no, I really do feel better. Please don't deny me of this. Like, I worked hard to get there. I just really want to go see how well I can do. And she was like, okay. So I remember trying to get dressed, and I was like blacking out. I was not better, not even a little bit. And I was just like, you know what? Pull it together, bro. Like, she's going to let you try. Like, at least go try. This person next to me looks like they're going to hit me. And I ended up going. And at the time, my best friend was this girl named Katie. It was my neighbor. And she's my same age. She was a really athletic girl. Hey, thank you very much, Waves of the World. What up, Waves? Thank you for that, bro. Appreciate that. So I remember getting to the basketball game, and we got there with about 5 minutes left before halftime. So I checked in with the other two people that I was going to be competing against. One of them was the best basketball player on our team. His name was Curtis. I don't remember who the third kid was. I just remember feeling like I could have beat him. And I knew that I couldn't beat Curtis. Curtis was the best player. So it's coming up to halftime. We go out there, and it's kind of like what I said before. It was one point for a layup, 3 points for a free throw, and then 5 points for a three-pointer. And whoever made the most points was going to be the winner for the grade and get like a little trophy or something. So the competition starts, and I just remember feeling like I was gonna pass out. I was like, I don't have the energy to do this. And I just started pulling all these trick shots. So when I was growing up, my dad was really good at basketball. He played a lot of basketball. And he and I would play horse. And one of the things he was always doing was like shooting like sky hooks. He used to like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His two favorite players were Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he would always try to beat me at horse using like a sky hook or some like crazy shot. So I got to practice those a lot. I remember running around and just doing all of these trick shots, sky hooks and three-pointers. And I remember the other kids were just looking at me like, what are you doing? Are you just blowing this on purpose? Like, what are you doing? And I was just happy to be out there. And I look over to the side on the sidelines, and there was my best friend Katie, and she was so happy for me because she knew how sick I was, and she didn't think I was gonna be there. So just the fact that I was there, even like competing, made her happy. Oh, thank you so much, Connie, for the membership. I appreciate that. I think I might have missed another one. Thank you, Connie. And that's what I was reminded of tonight when I was taking a shower right before this. I almost phoned it in tonight, and I almost didn't come out. I was like, you know what? I've been through hard stuff like this before. This is not my first rodeo, like playing through some sickness or trying to pretend I'm a little bit healthier than I actually am. Dean M, thank you very much for the membership. Thank you. So yeah, that's the story that made me tear up in the shower on on the rinse off before tonight is I was like, you know what? It was special on my mom to... I'm pretty sure she knew that I wasn't going to be able to handle it. I think she was probably just more scared of like the tantrum I was going to throw if she denied me the chance. This girl doesn't look cold to me. Looks like she's wearing like a bathrobe or something. What's she eating, a hoagie? She's got sandals on. Sandals in the snow. That's very Denver. The kid that won the competition that night, he was my friend Curtis, and he was the best basketball player on our team. And I've told this story a couple times, but at the end, so I went to middle school in this old building. It was just like so if you look up Winterset Middle School in Iowa, it might also say like Winterset High School. What's this couple doing right here? Oh, they're falling in love right by the dumpsters. Excellent. The middle school that I went to is the high school that my mom went to. And it was such a piece of garbage. I took everybody to my high school last night. Hey, what's going on here on the right? There are a lot of people lined up for something. Wow, does anybody know what's going on here on the right? That's a lot of people. What the heck? Hold on, maybe I should ask somebody. I don't want to roll my window down and like maybe get somebody sick. Oh, cops are coming through. My basketball coach, so both sides of the middle school / high school were stairs, and the staircases went all the way from the basement, which was like the boiler room, all the way to the 3rd floor. And so picture a bunch of stairs doubling back on each side of the building. And so we would have basketball practice in that middle school. And then at the very end of basketball practice, we would run crushers. That's what my coach called it, crushers. And he would say, all right, 5 crushers tonight. And that meant that you had to go up the stairs on the left, transfer over on the very top floor, which is the 3rd floor, run down the other side, run back to where you started, and do that 5 times. It was so difficult to do that, especially after a full basketball practice. So at the end of practice, my coach would say, okay, everybody has to run 5 crushers tonight. And then he'd say, but one person has to run 6. Who's gonna take it? And almost every time it was this kid, Curtis. He's the one that beat me in that competition, the shooting competition. He was very athletic. He kind of had like a borderline adult body, but in middle school, and the rest of us had just little kid bodies. And so he'd always raise his hand and say, you know, I'll take the extra crusher. And we would always let him because he was always the one like potentially going to lap us because he was in the best shape. He just did it like it was nothing. So we would let him take that extra lap. At the end of the season, my coach named him the captain, or the MVP of the season, and then said, who knows why I would give one extra lap to somebody, and nobody knew. And he was like, I did that so that I could see who the leader was. And he was like, and the leader's Curtis. Curtis would always take that extra lap. And he's like, so Curtis, you're the leader. I always had dreams of being the person that could take that extra lap. Like, I wish I had enough in the tank to do like a little bit extra. And that was just something that I was thinking about. Oh, it's Aziz Ansari. Wow, that's a long line for that. I guess that was around the corner from the Paramount. That makes sense. Ryan, thank you for clarifying that. And I was thinking about that earlier because when I was in school, this is a different little tangent, but when I was growing up, if you finished work early in the classroom, the teacher would say, okay, if you're finished early, walk around and help the other students. And I was rarely ever finished that early. I was never like the first cut of the people that were done early. But the kids that would walk around and help the other students, I would learn more from them than I would from the teacher. And in most cases, the kids would say, oh, here's a little hack that I use, or here's a little shortcut that I think is helpful. And whatever shortcut they were using ended up being the way that it actually made sense to me. Not the way that it was being taught, but like the way another student had come up with a workaround, and like that actually worked for me. And that's just something that I always thought about. Those two things. I wanted to be in a position to help other people if I could, and then I wanted to be in a position to take on extra work because I had enough in the tank to do that. And it kind of feels like that's what some of this stuff is very difficult to do. It's not as difficult in Denver. Here's the Denver Museum. Beautiful building. Here's the Denver dustpan. But low-key, that's always kind of been a goal of mine. Like, have enough in the tank to do extra. Finish with enough time that you can help other people and give them kind of a cheat sheet that you wish that you had. And oh, I'm hearing like a light rail. Oh, it's this person's car next to me. And that's just kind of something that's always in the back of my mind. Like, even now that I'm 44, in a couple hours I'm gonna be 45, I still think about those two instances, the basketball practice and finishing my work early enough to help somebody else. I still get a lot of gratification out of doing what I can to be helpful, because that I'm at without a lot of help from a lot of people. And the majority of that is from my mom. My mom is so generous with her time, with the love that she gives to people. She gets a lot of gratification out of helping people. And that kind of trickled down to me in a lot of ways without me even knowing it in some instances. Is it still buffering? If it's buffering for you, please try to refresh and see if that helps. Refresh the stream if you're still hearing sketchy audio or video. See if a refresh helps. But I did want to give a huge shout out to my mom. Like, the reason that I started doing this live stream stuff was to share some experiences with my mom. She's been bedbound for many years now, and she's gotten a lot out of these little cruises that I do. And that's why I started doing it, even when it was just for a few people. She was one of the few people that it was hitting, and it was always good enough. Like, at the end of the stream, she would watch it live, and then I would call her and say, did you see this? And she'd be laughing, and she'd say, yeah. And I'd say, oh, did you hear what this person said to me? And she'd be laughing, and she'd say, yeah. Look at the river down here. Platte River, yep. So if you enjoy these cruises, that's thanks to my mom. She's the one that gave me the idea that I should be out here sharing some of this stuff. I started sharing at the very lowest level. I remember when there were 7 Denmark, hi from China, and I'm just thinking to myself like, wow, this is hitting people from all over the world. It's already enough for me. Like, there's probably some people in here that were here when we were doing like 150,000 views per stream. It got overwhelmed. It got a little bit out of control there for a little bit. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. Other people were putting a lot of pressure on me. I was feeling the pressure to turn it into something that was profitable, because out of the 7 or 8 years that I've done this, only 1 year was profitable. And 1 other year I broke even. And then every other year I lost money doing it. And I'm back in the column of losing money doing it. It's not profitable for me to do it. The reason that I'm out here doing it tonight, and the reason that I still like to do it in general, is because it's back to where I started, where I'm donating my time, and I'm donating it in a way of like, this is what it's like to hang out with me for a night. If you ever wondered what it would be like. Opies, thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna dedicate this one to my mom tonight. All the support that I've gotten over the years, and all the support that I've gotten from this community. It feels good to have a little birthday party, even if it's short. Have a little birthday party with the people that have like shared so many good vibes with me. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat. And I love being back here. There's a certain vibe that I get when I'm in this city that makes me feel like my best self. I'm not scared when I'm here at night doing what I was doing in LA. I was just always, there was always just a question mark. Am I going to make it back in one piece tonight? And I never knew. I was just always prepared for something absolutely crazy to happen. I was always ready for that. I was always mentally preparing myself for somebody to grab the handle and try to get into my car, or somebody to hit me and then take off, hit and run style. I don't know if anybody was with me the night that we were driving on the highway and we saw like 2 people harassing each other, and then the person rear-ended the other person and caused this high-speed crash in front of us on the highway. I barely dodged the debris and the crash, and then after I dodged the crash, the person that caused the accident took off, and for some reason I decided to follow him. I followed them to the next exit, got off, they went into the neighborhood, and then they stopped. And so many people in my life were mad at me for that. Like my mom, my wife, my friends, they were like, there's so many lunatics out there. Whoever that was could have just opened their door, turned around, and like put you in danger. There were just so many things like that happening. And then every time something like that would happen, I just knew the potential is there for that kind of stuff every night. Like, LA was such a insane asylum, especially after dark. And over the years, I had just grown desensitized to a lot of it. And I was always very truthful about how scared I was, because I was always scared, but I felt protected within the car. I've always had a lot of confidence in my ability to drive. I've been driving since the day I turned 16. I got my learner's permit when I was 14. In Iowa, you can get it when you're 14. In Colorado, you could get a learner's permit at 15 and a half. I've been driving since I was 14. Happy birthday. I went to Eagles SB Parade, now back in LA. Nice. Oh, nice. Congrats to the Eagles. I was actually thinking about you when I was watching the Super Bowl. Congrats to all the Eagles fans. That's really cool. And I hope you had a great time celebrating the Super Bowl. I was telling everybody last night that because I've been sleeping a lot this week. I've been trying to sleep off the sickness. And one of the dreams I had was that I was back in LA, and it was summertime LA, which is my favorite time to be in LA. And it felt so real. It felt like early 2000s LA, which was just one of the best times of my whole life. And when I had first gotten to LA and people started talking to me and found out that I was new, they would just start rattling off all these things. Have you been to a K-Rock weenie roast? Have you been to the Getty? Have you been to Halloween Horror Nights? There's all these things, and my answer was always no. I had just gotten there, so I hadn't been to these things. And so I just remember being so excited. I was just like, I'm here. The world is so fresh and new. I have all these things that I want to do. And within the 20 years that I was there, I feel like I really got to cross almost every single thing off of that bucket list that I had. And that's kind of how it feels to be back in Denver now. It's a city that I know, but it's also a city that is brand new to me in a lot of ways. And I'm just very thankful to be back here. The vibe here, I feel like, really relates to me. I feel very laid back right now at this point in my life. I really value sharing good vibes with people, having good times, laughing and being happy with good people, sharing that there's a thing in surfing and there's a thing in skating, snowboarding. It's called share the stoke. And if you are really happy about something, you say, I'm stoked. And you want that for other people as much as you want it for yourself. And you know that the more that you're high-fiving that around, that the better opportunity it has to come back to you too. And so yeah, I'm very grateful to be here. I've had a lot of emails from people that say, I can't wait for you to be done with this Denver chapter. It's so boring. We've already seen everything that you have to show us there. But yeah, it's more about just being with the community. The community that we have here is very unique. I know that because I watch a ton of YouTube. Ask Linda. She's so annoyed with how much YouTube I watch. But I was always a really big public access fan. In Iowa, the public access was not great. When I got to Colorado, the public access stations got a lot better. And then when I got to California, my mind was absolutely blown by the amount of free, because I always had a TV antenna. And so I remember being in my room. I used to live in Sherman Oaks with a roommate. And I remember putting some bunny ears on my TV and just watching all these crazy, there were really crazy people. A lot of religious people, but just a lot of public access stuff in general. Hold on, I need to take a drink. And when I was growing up, Wayne's World was just starting to be big. It was big as an SNL sketch, and then it turned into a big movie. And they were kind of championing the idea of, hey, you don't have to be doing some of these things on a professional level. You could do them on an amateur level and people would still like what's happening. What is this Porsche guy doing right here? This just doesn't really look right. I'm not sure what he's trying to do with right here. Oh, he's trying to back up. Excuse me. Some Ninja Turtle was trying to drive on the sidewalk right there. Don't you have a house in LA? I definitely don't. I've never owned a house. I've never even come close to having the kind of money that would even put a down payment on a house, let alone own a house. The whole time that I lived in LA, I was poor. I spent all the money that I was making just to be able to tread water in that environment in LA. When we moved back here to Denver, when I moved back and Linda moved here for the first time, the income that I was getting from these streams completely bottomed out. And so this last summer that passed, I did make a little bit of money. That was the first time that I ever was like profitable in this streaming stuff. The summer before that, I broke even. All of the years leading up to that, I lost money. Oh, look at this guy with his fur coat. We got Ric Flair right here. He's looking at me, looking at him. I don't know if he's happy that somebody's appreciating his coat or he knows I'm making fun of him. He probably knows I'm making fun of him. But yeah, I'm back into the area where I don't feel obligated to do this as a business or a job. I'm back to donating it the way that I was at the very beginning. And I actually like that a lot better because there isn't a lot of pressure. And on the way here, there was ooh, these girls are getting some snowballs ready. Look at the Mylar balloons too. These are illegal balloons. Mylar balloons are the ones that short in the power lines. Oh, they're doing the Macarena. Holy guacamole, taco, nacho, Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Ay. Actually, I don't know if that was the Macarena. It's been a minute since I've seen that. I'm happy with the way that things are right now. I remember this summer when the numbers were bloated because the way that YouTube works, the algorithm will give you the audience that you had the previous week. So let's say last weekend 100,000 people watched this stream. They would offer me to 100,000. Getting such high numbers is because we were doing big numbers consistently, and as people that have been in here a long time would notice, we were getting a lot of new people because when they would sign into YouTube, it would offer our stream in the browse feature. So people would sign on to YouTube just to see what was happening, and then boom, right in the top 5 would be our stream because we had 4,000 people watching or something like that. And because of that, some of the people that I really did want to interact with, they would get lost in the sauce because there were just so many new people. Oh, I just found this. Go to Skid Row. Go to Compton. Go to the street takeover. All of that kind of stuff. And that's actually when I started seeing a lot of popularity come from the wrong areas. Like, I started getting attention from people that I knew I was only getting attention from because we were riding a wave. And I knew that once we were not on that wave anymore, that a lot of that attention would dry up. I'm thankful that I knew that at the time, because I wasn't scared of it drying up. I knew that it would subside and that a lot of the new people that were coming would eventually fall off. But again, people were giving me a lot of congratulations. You finally made this into something legitimate. You're an actual news source. I was getting so much fan mail from people that would say, my mom and I watch you every weekend and it's the highlight of our week. We look forward to riding with you and spending time with you. I got some letters from people that were in like halfway houses. Hey, our whole halfway house will sit and root for you and cheer you on, and thank you for being out there. You make our weekends so much better. I was feeling so guilty initially for letting this huge group of people down by not doing that. Like having them tune in and be like, oh my gosh, why is he still in Denver? Like, when are you getting back to what we're used to? I have already come to terms with that, because I think that if people really knew how much better my mental health is now, that they really wouldn't want me to be doing that. Oh, shout out to Flower Child. This is the Flower Child store. Is Flower Child in the chat? Healthy food for a happy world. That's cool. Hey, I'm seeing some birthday stuff. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I'll quiet down a little bit on the talking, but I just wanted to clarify that I am very happy now. I'm so grateful for the highs and the lows, especially in the last year. And oh, Flower Child is here. Yes, that was for you. We're right by, this is Cherry Creek Mall. A very famous spot in Denver. If you ever want to come visit that shop, it's just north of Clayton and Spear in Denver. What up, Dev? What up, Ellie? What up, Darren? Trick Runner. And last night we were driving around my old stomping grounds when I was in middle school and high school, and it was reminding me of a lot of memories. My brain is a very visual brain. Oh wow, thank you so much to Ellie for the 10 gifted subs. I just saw that. Thank you so much. Thank you to Devil's Cock Brewing Company. Thank you for the sticker. Thank you, Waves of the World, for the huge dono. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And so I do want to apologize to the people that, you know, have written me emails and say, hey, we're not really happy with the new format. We wish that there was a way that you would be in LA more. There isn't that way tonight, but I'm still searching for that for the future. I think that there might be a way for me to get a cheap apartment in LA and be able to spend time there where I'm not couch surfing and putting different friends out. When I go back and stay now, I have to stay with friends, and I think it does wear on them a little bit. I would like to get an apartment there and be able to have a place where Linda and I could land, be safe, not keep a lot of possessions there. Like, we don't really need a lot. We just need a door to close and a bed and a bathroom. But I am exploring some different possibilities of how I can be back there more this summer. Not to spend the entire summer there, but to spend some quality time there. And because I want it so bad, I think that it probably will happen. That's sort of been the formula that I've been living off of in the last couple months is if I want something bad enough, I'll kind of put it out there and hope that the universe figures out a way to make it possible for me. And that is the goal. I would love to be living here in the summer, but spending a lot of time in LA. And when I had that dream earlier that I was back in LA, when I woke up with a smile on my face because I was just so happy being back. And that was something that I had lost. Like this summer, I don't remember driving to LA and being happy to be in LA. It was more of like fulfilling the obligation. And there was a lot of sketchy stuff going on. Some people know about some of it, most people don't, but there were definitely some people that were putting me in danger. There were situations that were putting me in danger. There were a lot of things that were not ideal. And I think that going back this summer, I've taken some new precautions that cover some of those bases. At least more than I was covering them before. Okay, now I'm starting. This area is a little bit familiar to me in the daylight. At night, I get a little bit mixed up. Yvette, thank you for the birthday wish. Connie, what up? Jillian, what up? Maybe I can go here. And I've almost made it through the hour, which was my like minimum goal. I was like, at least put down an hour. At least do that. When I get back tonight, turn the car off, go inside, I know that the thing that I am going to be most grateful for is just spending time with people that I care about. That's what means more to me than anything right now, is just sharing good times with good people. And man, Denver is such a hotbed for that. Like, there's so many people here that take care of me. There's so many people that are generous with their good vibes and love here. But I also miss that about California. People were really taking care of me there too. As much like sketchy stuff was happening to me, really good stuff was happening to me too. There was a balance. But I just feel very protected here, which is something I didn't know I needed until I had a lot of it, like stacking days and days and days of feeling like things were gonna be okay, and then just feeling like that was the new normal. Yeah, you're okay. Like, you're going to be okay, and you're okay. And like I was saying, LA was a lot of question marks. I hope I'm okay. I hope this works out. Hold on, I need to put a new destination in the GPS here. So that was a lot of talking from me. I don't think I'm going to be able to do as much talking as I just did. I think that was the lion's share of it right there. I brought a Gatorade out to see if that would help me get some electrolytes. Now just kind of enjoy the cruise. I'm going to talk a little bit, but I feel like I do need to be a little bit quieter. My chest feels taxed, and my lungs are just not in a good space right now. So I'm going to just cruise for a little bit and chill. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to try not to get lost over here. Home stream stuff has kind of been 50-50. I've been having a lot of problems with the setup, and I would rather have the problems happen when I'm not on a live stream. I've been in here a lot, not myself, but visiting people. Anybody that's been with me a long time, I like to comment on, oh, we're the only people awake right now. We have the whole city to ourselves. This Denver area, it can really feel like you have it all to yourself, especially at night, especially when it's cold. People kind of hide away inside, and if you're out, sometimes you're one of the only people out. I like the feeling of that. I used to sneak out a lot as a kid. I can remember sneaking out as early as like elementary school, riding my bike around in the dark. When I would see cars, I would get this alley, but there's somebody cruising down the alley right now. I want to show you this art piece. I like it. Some monarch butterflies right here. I also used to really scare my mom. I think I've probably always been somebody that scared my mom down, and then tell me like, all right, bro, you've gotten away with this up to this point. Know when to fold them. Get out while you're ahead. I've had that advice from her so many times. I've been able to heed that advice a lot and quit while I'm ahead. But I'm ahead a lot. Yeah, sometimes I'm not ready to quit because I'm ahead a lot. Oh, this is Kimalea, Heart of Matt Worldly. Is this like a little art spot? Sort of like how it is in and find cheap rent and turn it into something nice. I've always loved the kind of creativity that's in Denver. So many artists and a lot of the people in town appreciate the art, and so they will let you commission an art piece on the wall. This looks like it's something that was they probably had permission to do it. And I'm saying that just because of the amount of time that it looks like they took. When you're doing it without permission, you sometimes don't get to spend that kind of detail. I like it when people appreciate art. That's something that my mom has always tried to instill in me, is be creative. Like, no matter what you're taking on, like, try to make it creative. Ooh, look at the A-Team van right here. Wow, this thing's dope. This is a Chevy, I believe. That's nice. How did they keep it that clean? Wow. Dub, I live in the art district. Nice. I need to pay attention in this area. See how this truck is kind of stopped in the middle? They have a lot of areas where you turn and then you just have to immediately stop. And if you're not familiar with the area, sometimes it sneaks up on you. Like this is a one-way to my left, I think. The thing that's easier about navigating around Denver in the daytime is that the mountains are always west when you're in Denver. So, oh, look at the purple house on the left. So if you start getting lost, you can usually see where the mountain range is and be like, okay, that's west, which means this has to be south and this has to be north. You can kind of get your bearings like that. This is off of Santa Fe Drive. I've been to a lot of concerts over here in my youth. This is a fun area. Oh, look at the pups. Look at this little pupsters right here. Oh, he's gonna get a ride. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so this is Santa Fe Drive. I come over here to get good Mexican food and to hear good live music. This is what Saturday night looks like. It's 10 p.m. Saturday night, so you would think like, oh, this is the hot spot. Here's the Denver Civic Theater. Jen W, what up? Jolie, what up? Shannon. We got a cop cruising by right here. Denver Art Society. A lot of art spots over here. Shop where you can get like pipes and bongs and stuff. All to ourselves. Look back here. There's a cool little building. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Look how cool that area is. A bunch of little galleries over here. Look how old this theater looks. Oh, this is the Ozidlan. I went to so many shows here in my youth. Wow. Wow, I haven't even thought about this place in so long. Some night I'm going to go through, I have a whole shoebox full of going to a show, and we came back and our car had been broken into while we were at the show. And I was riding with a girl that was my neighbor. Oh, look at these dancers. And we went from here to the police station to fill out a police report, and they were laughing at us at the police station. They're like, you're not gonna get any of your stuff back. Her stereo got stolen that night. She had a VW, I think it was a Corrado, which was like such a cool car back then. And somebody broke in and stole the stock radio, which I couldn't believe. It was such a, it was such like a $10 stereo, but Nothing was safe back then. I think I held like a plastic bag up in the window as we were driving. I'm 44 for another hour and 40 minutes. I'm already 45 on the East Coast. Fap Happy Fergus, what up? I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. What up, Magical Maddie? Steve, Pushing Limits. Whoa, that was a sketchy turn. Okay, I have a new destination in mind. Todd, member for 24 months. Jeez, that's the OGs popping out. Todd, thank you so much, bro. 2 years. Thank you for that. It was easier for me to do these driving tours in LA because there's just so much to look at. Every stoplight, you'd look over and there'd be like party kids or just mind-blowing things. It's a lot harder for me to do these kind of drives in Denver and make it something that I think is interesting to share with an audience, because this to me seems like a normal environment, where LA to me has always seemed abnormal. And so I'm always like, look at that, look at that, look at that in LA, because that's how I feel. Here it just seems like I'm sharing what I think is interesting to people that aren't from here, but to me this is a very normal place. And so it's a little bit harder to make it something that's entertaining for a viewing audience. This building right here, this is where the Big Blue Bear is, on the other side. LA is definitely not normal. Orion, thank you. Everywhere is normal by comparison to LA. We have a fire truck leaving the station right here. You got it. That was a white truck. Belco Theater. Not an elevator rescue. On the way here tonight, I passed by a crash. It was on I-25, kind of in the, it was kind of before the city. And my first thought was, I don't want to be that person anymore. I don't want to be the person that when they see my name, they think, oh, there's got to be some natural disaster. That's why I tune in to watch this dude, because he covers tragedies around whatever city that he's in. I like that I'm redefining what I'm out here to share. It was always a goal of mine to try to make some positive memories, not just share tragedy. In LA, that was a lot harder. It was a lot harder to find the glass half full moments. Oh, Laker fans right there. Look at the Laker fans. Oh no, we got some honking. I almost went to this game tonight. I have a friend that is such a huge Luka Doncic fan. He's from Dallas, and he would watch every NBA game. He would text me after the games and talk about different stats and whatever. And when Luka left to go to the Lakers, it was so devastating to him. He's still not over it. I don't think he'll ever be over it. And immediately when that happened, when they got traded, I looked on the app. So there's two apps that I use to get tickets to go to either Avalanche or Nuggets games. One app is called Game Time, and the other one is called TickPix. I went on to both to see what the price of the tickets were, and they were somewhat affordable. Like, Lakers are always a little bit more expensive because of LeBron. And I think his son Bronny is playing now too, and so people want to say that they saw LeBron and his son play at the same time. And I almost got tickets because I thought, you know, even if I don't go, they're going to resell for a lot. And I decided not to. I'm glad I didn't, because I think I would have been pressured to try to go tonight. And I was not healthy enough to go. For sure, I was not healthy enough. But this is Ball Arena. This is where the Lakers lost by 23 points. In 2023, when the Nuggets won the NBA championship, they swept the Lakers. And that was LeBron and AD. And that was such a good series for me. I watched every minute of that series and loved it. This year I was hearing that the matchup tonight between the Nuggets and the Lakers was kind of like a precursor to how the playoffs would be. And I think that's right. I think the Lakers and the Nuggets will see each other in some round of the playoffs. Arroyo, thank you very much. Thank you for the birthday wishes, everybody. This is the stadium right here. This used to be called Pepsi Center. Just a heads up, I'm not feeling great. I think I kind of played myself with all the talking earlier. Huge shout out to Jen and Jason. Thank you for showing up with the birthday wishes. Stacy, I live in the same area where Nathan McKinnon and Sidney Crosby are from, Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. Oh, that's awesome. Taboo Vegas, happy birthday, Jeremy. Do you remember the poster store, Hollywood Posters, that used to be on Colfax? Absolutely. I'm a huge poster guy. I've always been into posters, especially like band posters. I loved Hollywood Posters. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that memory. That's cool. I'm gonna try to take us into the area called High-Low. It's or Low-High, sorry. It's Lower Highland. Watched Guardians baseball Saturday. Nice. I didn't get to watch the hockey game live, USA versus Canada, but I watched the replay. That was such a crazy hockey game. I was rooting for USA, but I also didn't really care who won because the majority of the Canadian team were players from my Denver Avalanche team. Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar. We had a bunch of people from the Avalanche that were on that team. Anybody that missed it, it was Canada versus USA in the final hockey match. And as soon as they dropped the puck, two people threw down gloves and started fighting. And then as soon as they cleaned up that fight, they dropped the puck again. And then two other people threw down their gloves and started fighting. And then they cleaned that up. And then as soon as they resumed the game, another fight broke out. So within the first 9 seconds of the game, there were three. Whoa! That person just threw a bunch of stickers out of their car. Did you see that? That's crazy. It looked like a bunch of glitter behind the car. Yeah, within the first 9 seconds, there were 3 fights. And I showed Linda and she was like, wait, why are they... Linda's not into hockey. She's like, wait, they're allowed to fight? I was like, yeah, until it hits the ground and then they break it up. And I was like, so they try to stay on their feet as long as they can because once it hits the ground, they break it up. And she was just kind of dumbfounded, like, wait, why are professional athletes allowed to fight each other? That's one of the highlights of hockey. And that's also why they need dental insurance. Alright, this area, this is Lower Highland. And it's kind of right up on top of the hill, just west of the city. And so you can find these different bars in these different areas that are elevated and they have amazing views. Like you see that place down there that has the lights. In the summertime, this is a hot spot. A lot of people walking around. A lot of, I don't drink, but this is a huge craft beer city. A lot of IPAs, a lot of local breweries. This dude's just froggering across the road, not looking. Oh, that was a girl. I'm gonna take you by a little restaurant over here that Linda likes. It's called Nana's Dim. I dig this area. This wasn't really a place that I was hanging out 20 years ago. Well, they smoke a lot of pot here, but they smoke a lot of meat here. So you can get a lot of pulled pork and brisket and things like that. All right, check out all the little niches. Lower Highland. And the place where we started the stream over by Coors Field, that's called Lodo. L-O-D-O, Lodo, Lower Downtown. This is Senor Bear. This is a popular spot. And then this is where Linda likes to eat. This is a dim sum place. It's called Nana's. Let me try to get inside and look. It's so pretty in here. Wow, it's packed. Linda likes dumplings. She gets her dumpling on in there. There are times that I wish I was somewhat of like a social drinker. It looks like people have so much fun doing that. But man, I don't understand how people have the money to go out and get like, even if I drink wine, which I don't, to get a glass of wine somewhere, maybe $10-15, and now you're tipping another $4. I just don't see how people can afford to do that. Everything right now just seems so expensive. If you want to eat an omelet, it's like $24. There's a spot over here called Linger, and it used to be, I think, a mortuary that they turned into like a rooftop bar, hot spot type area. And then a lot of food halls here where you go in and then you have maybe 7 to 9 different choices of places to eat. That seems to be a very popular thing all over Colorado. Ooh, I like this tree. That looks spooky. I've been out of the chat for a second. Let me bump back into the chat. What up, Julie? What up, Darian? Oh, that was a bunch of sand right there for snow. Some very unique home pass. I'm not a fan of these old school brick houses. It's kind of like a hipster thing to rent these houses, and I am not a fan of mold smell or bad plumbing, and that's kind of what I associate. And some kind of a trick toilet where you have to like jiggle the handle and do something special in order for the toilet to flush. And if you don't do it right, then it's overflowing, and not only are you embarrassed, but they hate you for it. They stand up to severe weather. That's absolutely true. This place here on the right, I've partied in here quite a bit. One of my friends had a birthday party. It's called Happy Camper. There are a lot of games inside. You see how there's a lot of plastic hanging down? In the summer, this is all open, and it's really fun inside. Happy Camper. Some good food too. I think one of the reasons that I'm not a huge fan of the brick style is because that's very prevalent in Iowa. I think the architects there must have read Three Little Pigs, because they just built everything with challenging to heat those structures. The middle school that I was talking about earlier, where I was talking about running and doing the laps, those had radiators for heat. And there were radiators in the boys' bathroom on all 3 levels. And at some point during the day, the boys would pee on the radiator, and then all of the level would smell. And I remember they would do these like daily announcements over the intercom where they're talking about different things, if there was a wrestling meet at the end of the day and whatever. And they would beg people not, well, it wasn't people, it was boys. They would beg the boys not to pee on the radiators, and that just made them do it even more. Which is one of the worst smells ever, is hot urine on a radiator. At the end of the tour, I still have a little bit left in the tank, but I need to go home soon and try to get some sleep. The talking is difficult for me. My lungs just feel like they're at about 5%. Exchange. This is where, oh man, this is where the river is. I've shown you guys this a couple times, but that's where you can go and kind of raft on the river. It's called River Point, I believe. This is sort of back where we started at the beginning. Sort of over by Denver Skate Park. Nurse advice, you need a chest x-ray. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's in the works for this week. Either Linda or I need to go to the doctor so that we both know what we have. Like, if one of us goes, then we can kind of piggyback off of the results from the other one. What's this license plate mean? Good game, job. GG is usually good game. GG. I think I'm going to take us by Union Station and then probably call it a night. Oh no, this might be Uber in front of us. That bus that just passed in front, that's the free bus that runs up and down 16th Street Mall. When the weather's nicer, we'll ride that bus. I'll do a little tour of 16th Street Mall for everybody. I'm sorry, this is sort of a shorter cruise than normal. I didn't even know if I would be out tonight. I told everybody last night that it was going to be a coin flip. But I made it out tonight. This is Union Station, where you can catch the train. Whenever they have the Western Stock Show here in Denver, they let longhorn steer come and run down this street that we're on. And it looks really crazy. Plus dude has a cowboy hat. Speaking of Westerns. Pretty area in the day and at night. Ice House. .707 Humboldt, what up? Alfred, sounds like Cowtown, Fort Worth, Texas. My dad passed away last year, but he was living in San Antonio. And I spent a little bit of time there. They have a place there called Riverwalk that's pretty cool. It's right in front of the Alamo. The basement of the Alamo is where they were looking for Pee Wee Herman's bike. They did not find it. I'm trying to hold off some coughing. Oh, Mama Hill, thank you very much for the donut train sticker. I appreciate that. Shout out to Mama Hill. Thank you so much. I miss going to baseball games with Mama Hill and Shannon. I would love to have them come out here and go to a Rockies game with me. That's a bucket list wish. and Shannon, thank you very much. Mama Hill and Shannon always keep me stocked up with fresh donuts. Yeah, I need to end it. I think I'm already a little past what I should have been doing out here tonight. This is Coors Field in front of me. This is where I said I want to take Mama Hill and Shannon someday, watch a baseball game. I'll let their Anaheim Angels beat up on my Rockies. Hey, thank you so much, Ellie, for the donut train. Zach stuff. Go through, get a medicine ball drink at Starbucks. I heard someone say that last night. I don't know what that is, but I'll look into it. And Zach stuff, thank you very much for the gifted sub last night. I know I missed it. I felt really bad afterwards. I'm sorry I missed that. And just everybody that hangs out in here. I know that it's kind of down to just the OGs and the diehards that are coming to hang out with me on these streams. We have 460 people in the room. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much for continuing to support what I'm doing. Here's the Starbucks right here. So this is King Soopers. This is the big grocery store here. And then inside of the King Soopers, a lot of the time they have a Starbucks. Hold on, I'm actually gonna go right here. I love the drive no matter where. Thanks for the ride. Hey, thank you for that. Lisa VA, thank you very much. Dev, member for 17 months. Thank you, Dev. And thank you to everybody that spent my birthday with me. I am definitely not going anywhere tomorrow. I'm gonna hide out. Try to get as much sleep as I can. See if my cat can heal me. I've been letting my cat kind of sleep on my chest and purr, and hopefully the vibrations are like healing. Oh, and I thought this went through and it does not. Could have done a little street takeover right here if there was some snow. All right, since we're at the dead end, I'm just gonna end it here. I need to use my GPS to even figure out how to get home. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that comes and supports me on these streams. I'm gearing up for what I think is going to be an exciting year. My new year kind of starts and stops on my birthday, which is in an hour and 15 minutes. This is my new year. I was born in 1980, so no matter what year it is, I just kind of know, like, okay, 25, I'm 45. I just add 20 to whatever year it is at the end of the 2000. I always set it to be a goal of like, I'm gonna have the most fun I've ever had this year. I think I can attain that this year. That's gonna be the goal again. I'm gonna try to have as much fun as I possibly can. I think I've set myself up well because I just feel great. Not physically right now, obviously I'm sick, but mentally I think that I'm in the position that I want to be to take on these projects that I have been trying to get off my soul for a while. I think this is the year for me to share those projects. To anybody that can hear my voice right now, thank you so much. I hope you have a great Sunday. I will see you next weekend, and I'll let you know if I went and got a chest x-ray, if I made Linda go do it instead of me. One of us needs to go get a chest x-ray. It'll probably be me. I'm just very grateful that I made it through the stream tonight without throwing up. I've been having kind of a sketchy stomach. My lungs have been bad. But I did it. I didn't even know if I would come out tonight. And even before I came out, I was trying to talk myself out of it. One of my best friends was like, be smart, don't go out. But it worked out. I'm glad I did come out. I will see you all soon. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the balloons in the chat. That's really sweet. Look here, look. It's raining red balloons in the chat right now. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm going to end the stream before I start crying. I feel very emotional tonight. Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm very lucky. I feel very blessed. I hope I can repay that. I love you guys. See you soon. Good night.